Welcome to the Carriker Chronicles, the People Show. Check the Pulse of Western Nation, brought to you by Nebraska Spine Hospital. Should I say ahoy, mateys? I found this shirt way back in my closet. I don't know. A little big. I must have lost some weight, but that's all right. I thought you fine folks at home might enjoy it. Today I want to talk about the defensive line. I've said it before. I'll say it again probably 24,922 million times. When it comes to football, offense puts butts in the seats, defense wins games, but the big uglies on the offensive line and the much, much better looking guys on the defensive line, the trenches wins championships. Now, obviously, we're just trying to get better right now in Nebraska football. We're trying to get to 6 wins. We're trying to get to a bowl game. Hopefully, we can do much better than that this year and some point down the road beyond that. But let's just start by getting better and better every day, and that starts up front. Okay, and on the defensive side of the ball, where the black shirts are, that starts up front with the defensive line. Now, the Huskers, as I'm sure you fine folks know, run a 3-4 defense. Okay, so I want to take a look at these 3 defensive line. Well, there's more than 3 of them, but the projected 2 deep along that 3-man defensive front. And maybe give you another name or 2 to keep an eye out for as well. Now, I played in the 4-3 defense with the St. Louis Rams. Man, does that make me feel old. And I played in the 3-4 defense with the Washington football team. So I got a little bit of experience kind of all across the board. So for me, I'll be honest with you, 4-3 is probably more fun because most of the time you're just penetrating. You're hitting the gap, you're stunting, you're just getting after it. To be a 3-4 defensive lineman. And there's different types of 3-4 schemes, just like there's different types of 4-3 schemes. The 3-4 scheme I played in Washington, we were taught literally not to step ahead. We were taught to go lateral and to take on double teams. And we were taught to literally build a wall, and then the linebackers roamed free and made all the tackles behind us. Okay. The Huskers 3-4 scheme is a little bit more penetrating and hitting gaps than what we played. And we actually, because it was the first season we ever put in, we actually watched film of the Steelers. And then that's the type of defense we were running. The Huskers defense is a little bit different than this 3-4. They get to have a little bit more fun penetrating the gaps, but they're still going to take on a lot of double teams. They still got to make it so the linebackers can roam free and make plays and get sacks off the edge. So to be a successful 3-4 defensive lineman, the first thing you have to be is unselfish. You got to be willing to buy into the scheme and do what's best for the team. You got to be willing to eat up blockers. Okay? You got to be physical, and you got to be physically tough. But that starts by being mentally tough. I don't care if you're some jacked up dude. If you're a mental infant, you gonna get rolled. You got to be a mental monster, and there ain't a whole lot of them around. You got to be a mental monster in order to be truly physically tough. And there's only one senior, and that starts with leadership. There's only one senior in that defensive line room. So Ben Stilley, who's a 6-year senior, chose to come back for his 6th season, needs to be the leader in that room, and other guys need to step up as well. But let's look at the 2 deep real quick for the Huskers defensive line at the moment. Anyways, the projected starters at defensive end are 6-year senior Ben Stilley, 6'5", 290 pounds. Freshman, again, because of the whole COVID rules thing, Ty Robinson. People have big expectations for him going into this season. It looks like a monster. Okay, got a lot of potential. Can he live up to that ability to do big things? Can he follow through on it? 6'6", 305 pounds. He's still a young guy. And the projected starter at nose guard is junior Damian Daniels, who's 6'3", 325 pounds, if I could read my own handwriting. I never forget watching him as a freshman. Just trying to run. Let's just say he's in a lot better shape now than he was, and I'm proud of him for getting in that shape. All right, so the next up on the depth chart, projected-wise, anyways, for defensive end is sophomore Casey Rogers, 6'5", 295 pounds. Junior DeAndre Thomas, 6'2", 285 pounds. If you guys remember him, he actually started a ton back when Mike Riley was a coach. He's kind of disappeared since then, and he actually played a lot as nose guard back then in that 3-4 defense. But hopefully he can have a resurgence here. I'm rooting for that young man. And the next nose guard on the depth chart at the moment is Jordan Riley at 6'6", 310 pounds. And also keep your eye out for Nash Hutmacher, the polar bear. He graded out just about as high as anybody in the spring. A freshman, 6'4", 325 pounds. He's about as strong as 14,000 oxes. We do have to address this number, though. He's number 72. All right, it's kind of like an old lineman number. Now, in all fairness, if you're a Giants fan, which I'm not, O.C. Umenyiora had a lot of success with number 72, but I can't think of anyone else that's a D lineman that had success with a 70 number. As long as he's making plays, I don't care what your number is, but it reminds me. So when I was a freshman, all the way through Little League, Twin City League basketball, AAU, high school football, my favorite number was 17. I was one of them pretty boy quarterbacks back in the day. And when I got to Nebraska, I couldn't keep 17. So I flipped the numbers to 71. That lasted exactly one day. Chris Kelsey, Bernard Thomas, Trevor Johnson, all those guys rode me. So I immediately, after that first practice, my true freshman year, changed that number. That's how 90 was born. It was the only 90 number left available. Hey, make plays. I don't care what your number is, Nash. All right. Unselfish, eat up blockers, be physical, which starts by being a mental monster and not a mental infant. Until next time, Husker Nation, go big, red, and always remember to throw the bud. Thanks again to our sponsor, Nebraska Spine Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, when it's your spine, you do not want to mess around, and experience matters. That's why you can trust the experts at Nebraska Spine Hospital, the region's only spine-specific hospital. They are the best at what they do.